Tuesday. Alright, so off we go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the live stream of tonight's six-man event. We've got another exciting lineup of players in tonight's roster, which should make for an interesting Rocket League series. But before we get into that, I want to introduce you to our casters for tonight. My name is David the Freitas, and alongside me is my teammate and co-caster Zach, aka I Am Noob.
Hello, everyone watching. I'm quite excited for what we have in store for tonight. We got some very good players, all in teams that they don't usually play for. So we'll see how that plays out in the long run. We're just having one or two warm-up rounds at the moment. before they get into the action. So have a good look at what they're doing. This is Rumble, so you'll see some things that you won't see on the field in the later rounds. But so far, so good.
Yeah, definitely. A good game of Rumble is always a nice way to warm up the fingers. So yeah, like you said, it's going to be 2 warm-up matches. This one being the Rumble, and then 1 regular warm-up. Then after that, we will have a series, best of 7 series.
Cool guy off to a very good start. He's sitting on 2 goals right now. Top of this leaderboard by miles. But that could also be a little bit of luck that's come in due to Rumble. Yeah. This is a tricky one. Anything can happen. There's Superman bringing one back there.
With Rumble, you never know. I see the teleport move. You never know what's going to happen in Rumble. But going back to the lineup for tonight, we like you said, Jack, we've got some very strong players on the field tonight, and it should be actually interesting to see how they are going to match up against each other. We've got at least 5 of the, I think it's about 5 of the 6 players that have played in the Premier Division of the recent VS Gaming League, the most recent leg, League 4. And the other player did play in the First Division. So we are talking high quality stuff here, high quality players. They've been playing in good teams, high quality teams in very competitive leagues. So it should be very interesting to see how these players are going to match up against each other, and the fact that they also away from their own team. They're not with their teammates that they know, so it should be
used to playing together. Yeah, I'm quite excited. DF Man and Heisenberg actually play for the same team, VXP, and they actually on opposite teams for tonight. So we'll see how that plays out in the long run. Because obviously they know how each other play, so they know what to look out for, and they also know how to counter each other. So that could be quite exciting.
Yeah, definitely. That's something I was definitely wanted to point that out. I was actually wondering. I was keen to see what the matchups were going to be for tonight, and to see if they were actually going to land up on the same team or opposite teams. And now that they're on opposite teams, should be very interesting to see how they do against each other. They're definitely not used to being on the opposite ends of the field.
Yeah, I'm actually quite, I know it's too early to tell, but I've played against DF Man once or twice, and he is absolutely clinical when it comes to scoring amazing aerials. He gets up so quickly and he makes contact with the ball at the exact right angle. And in Rocket League, that is quite important to make sure that you are touching the ball and making sure it goes to where it needs to go. And he's one of the best I've seen in our local league. So quite excited to see what he's going to do for us tonight. Not picking any favorites just yet. I'll see how match 1 turns out.
Yeah, no, definitely. And while we're on the subject of DF and Heisenberg, Luke, who play for the same team, we know them all too well, and I'm pretty sure the community out there have seen them along the line somewhere, because they are quite involved in the local Rocket League scene. In fact, they are the ones who have taken the initiative to organize these 6-man events that we've been enjoying for the last 2 weeks. This is now the 3rd one.
Sorry, I've actually just seen now that the Orange team's pulled back from 2 goals down to 4 goals. Like we said in the beginning, that's just the nature of Rumble. I mean, anything can happen in this game. And literally one lucky power-up and you can change the game in your favor, or even against you, actually. But I must say, the support from the community is absolutely fantastic, especially here in South Africa. We've got a very close-knit group. We all communicate with each other very, very well. And it's coming along very nicely. A lot of people are showing their support and really wanting to make a powerful influence for this game, for this country. and it's good to see everyone coming together. I mean, Friday night, I hope you guys are enjoying and having a great time.
Yeah, no, definitely. And just going back to the players, I wanted to ask you a question about Heisenberg Luke, because I know recently we both participated in a 1v1 tournament for the ACGL, and you actually got matched up against Heisenberg Luke. How was that match for you? How do you see him as a player, as his mechanical skills and overall understanding of the game?
From times I've played with Heisenberg, what I've noticed with him is he really likes to play clinical and strategic. No fancy, flashy things until he has secured a decent lead. Once he's in the lead, he'll start pulling out aerials, air rolls, and going absolutely crazy. But he wants to secure that lead before he'll start doing those kinds of things. So let's see how that factors in. If they are a few goals behind on their side, will they have to start bringing those things out, or will they still play it safe until they secure the lead? Very difficult to tell, and let's see how it plays out.
Sure, definitely. And I've also heard that in recent times he's been practicing his dribbling a lot, and he's become actually a very good dribbler. So I'm wondering if that's gonna come into be a factor into his game tonight, his play style. But I'm under the impression that in a 3v3, it's not, you don't get as much time to do your dribbles. It does come in handy a bit more on the 1v1s and even the 2v2s. But the 3v3s, there's just always someone on the ball, especially at this level of play. It's very quick, it's very fast. So let's see if Heisenberg will be able to incorporate his dribbling skills into tonight's.
Yeah, and I think the main factor in that is he's not playing with people that he's comfortable with. And I do agree with you, 1v1, 2v2's dribbling is a lot more practical. But in 3v3s, when you're comfortable and you know your team is going to back you up if you do lose the ball to the opponent, you can dribble a lot more. So with him playing against his teammates, as well as playing with people that I don't know if he plays with them all that much, he might pull out some dribbles just to test the waters, because it is a safe play to try and secure the lead. But he might, again, try and see what his team does first before he tries anything fancy. Again, he needs to secure the lead before he starts going absolutely mad.
Yeah, definitely. And just for the people who have just joined us, just a quick reminder, we are currently having a warm-up match. They've just had a Rumble game as a warm-up, and then they're going to have one more regular warm-up, and then after that we'll be starting the best of 7. And then while we kept just going back to the players, we've spoken a lot about the VXP players, DF, the man, and Heisenberg Luke. But one other player I do know of, and that's from a recent experience that I actually, in the same 1v1 tournament I was talking about, I played against Superman. And from what I saw in that game, he's got a very aggressive style. He's also very clinical, but he definitely plays very aggressive and very fast. So you need to. I'd love to see how he's gonna do in tonight's game, and obviously with matching up with his teammates, like we said, that's the great thing about these 6-man events, is that it brings different people together, different play styles, and it forces them to play in the same team and play together. So in the end of the day, it could be 3 really great individual players, but when you put them in the same team, they might not be able to gel it well. So
it's happened so many times. I mean, I'm sure it's happened to you. I'm sure everyone on those teams can vouch. You can have the most amazing players in a team together. I'll refer to G2 at the moment. They're not performing very well in higher league tournaments, but they are 3 of the most impressive players that I've ever seen. And it's not to say they're playing badly, there just feels like there's something missing there. And with not knowing who you're playing with necessarily, it may be a factor. Superman can be very confident. He likes to take very strong shots at goal. And we'll see how that plays in with his teammates, because you need to have the reassurance that someone's going to be behind you to cover if anything does go wrong.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Timmy, I haven't actually seen too much of, so I'm going to keep an eye on him throughout this little series, because I want to see what he is like. I've heard good things. He was in our last stream on Wednesday, and I think he's really proving himself to be an all-rounder, good on attack, good on defense, and setting up balls for his teammates quite well. So I want to keep an eye on that and see how that pans out through the rest of the evening.
Definitely, he's definitely a strong player. I do know he plays for the team Red Neptune, who, if we refer back to the most recent leg of the VS Gaming League, his team managed to get 4th spot, which is just enough to actually qualify for the DGC later on this year at the Nagland. So yeah, he definitely comes from a strong team, plays in a strong team, and he's definitely a strong player. But again, let's see how he matches up with the rest of the players tonight.
Yeah, and again, we've seen, if I'm not mistaken, Drip was taking the lead early on here, and this is a tough arena, I must say. I'm so glad they've taken this one out of competitive and just given us a flat arena for the competitive version of this map, because it could really throw off your game and just throw off your momentum when having a few good rounds. You wind up in this map, and that extra ledge on the edges really, it was fun in the beginning, but the more you played it, it actually became much, much worse.
This arena made for some very frustrating times, but also, like you said, also some very fun times. But overall, I'm definitely glad that they've taken that out of competitive. And it's good that they've chosen it now for the warm-up match.
Yeah, try and get a little bit of loose aerials in there, some odd jumps. I see quite a few of the guys are actually going very hard for those aerials, probably just warming up their thumbs. Hopefully we don't see any feel-bad backflips. It's a personal favorite of mine and comes through quite often. And these guys they're really top of their game. I mean, in terms of the leagues that we're playing, they've got everything to prove, and as much as this is a friendly, they want to showcase their skills and just put themselves out there. So I'm really looking forward to tonight and seeing what these guys have to give us.
Yeah, no, definitely. And two players that we haven't mentioned yet, Sumo and Cool Guy.
Cool Guy, he's extremely threatening. He's a cool guy. You don't expect him to come from where he comes from. He's always trying to pick the right position, make sure his placement's correct. And he really is a strong player in terms of working with his team. I haven't really seen him perform as like a standout player, but he's that support that you don't see, the thing that holds your roof up, the thing that keeps your walls together. You actually only see him in the background, and I think that plays a lot to his team in general, because he actually offers the support where not a lot of people choose to fall back and see what their team is doing, where the ball's going to go. And that seems to be his niche, where he likes to focus and obviously make sure that they're covered from their side.
Yeah. It's such an important thing that you mentioned, and it's taking that third position that sometimes, you know, your teammates don't see, or just being where your teammates are not. It can be so important, and like you say, it actually sometimes goes under the radar, because you're not going to come up on the score list. You're not scoring the goals. You're not really making the saves, but you're really doing the important stuff in making the clears and getting the passes in.
Yes, not letting them get in your side of the field.
Exactly.
I mean, it's literally one tap from a long clear to bring the ball back into the opponent's half, and that can throw them off completely, because they'll all start charging, coming through with speed, and then all of a sudden the ball's over their head and in space. it's very threatening, and I think he takes that role very, very well.
Definitely, and I mean to put a good play, a good rotation play like that into place is very important. So, and from what you've said, from what you say, he's obviously good at adapting to his teammates and taking that third position. So I think that will be quite an important role in tonight's game.
Very nice follow-up from Timmy there. He set DF up, and he actually came back to finish it off once he saw it just touch the top of the post. Really excited to see some of that coming out in the later games. And for you, any personal favorites? Anyone that you're looking out for?
Well, like I said, with I've played more often with DF Man and Heidelberg Luke. I'm more familiar with their styles, and I know I'm keen to see, and I'm quite excited that they're actually on opposite teams tonight. I'm keen to see how they're going to do against each other, because as we know them, and most of the community out there know them, they're always together. We've seen them, I mean, of course they play for the same 3v3 team in the VS Gaming League, but even when they team up with each other for the ACGL tournaments, the 2v2s, they're always together. In fact, we played against them in a recent 2v2.
It wasn't pretty.
And it wasn't pretty, yeah. So we do definitely know their strength and their skills. And of course, another time where you would have seen them together, for those of you guys who joined us on Wednesday night for the stream, they were actually the casters on Wednesday night. So they pretty much inseparable, which is why I was glad to see them on opposite teams tonight, and I was definitely keen to see how that's going to pan out. And besides that, I've also got keeping an eye on RVE Superman, because like I said, I recently got to encounter him and get to know his skill. So I'd like to see how he's going to incorporate that into tonight's match.
Well, look, they're always together. Also, I'm very excited they're on opposite teams, because both of them, when they play together, they really make their touches count. They make sure they put it to their teammate, and they are then falling back into position to make sure they can recover the ball if it gets misplaced, or attack for the follow-up. So to have them on the opposite teams, are they going to be doing that for their teammates as well? Are they able to rely on their teammates to be able to push it through for them? So it's quite interesting to see, and I think having two powerhouses on each team, it really makes a difference.
Definitely. And yeah, we see the warm-up game going into overtime on 3-all. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come, and it's going to be a tight match in the best of 7 series.
Look, just like the Rumble, I feel this particular arena adds that little bit of luck factor, because you can get a bounce out of nowhere at an angle that was never going to happen on a regular stadium. So it is just a warm-up. I think the guys are getting used to each other a little bit, and when they're in the actual straight arenas, I think we'll see their true performance coming out.
Agreed. But I mean, so far, even with the warm-ups and the funny arenas, we've had some good, exciting goals, passes. So I'm definitely excited to see what's going to come in the matches tonight.
We have been seeing a lot of aerial play, guys going for balls that are actually quite low to the ground, still trying to boost for it. I don't know if that's just to get power, or if they're just trying to get a handle on the boost with their team. But we haven't seen too much ground play in terms of dribbling or anything like that just yet.
I think they're just trying to stay away from the horrible ramps on the
horrible signs. Oh, and a nice finish by Timmy. Very, very nice.
It's the aerial dunk in the middle. Oh, great pass from DF Man.
So, the teamwork seems to be in play. Biltong takes the victory on this one. So for the warm-ups, we're looking pretty even. I think that was a great watch. Pings seem to be doing alright, so we have a good server at the moment. That's always good. For those of you outside of South Africa, this is the struggle. that we deal with on a daily basis with Rocket League. Well, pretty much every game online. But hopefully times will change and we'll get that 50 ping that everyone dreams of.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of outside of South Africa, one person who knows both ends of the scale is actually our streamer tonight, Horndog. Just want to send a shout out to him and say thanks for setting this up for us. But yeah, I'm definitely jealous of the ping that he gets when every time we get into a scrim.
That's how you don't let him play with us.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but definitely. I mean, it just goes to show the support for this community, that even once someone has left the country, they're still coming back to try and uplift the community as a whole, which is absolutely great.
And as you went to talk about the good server, you jinxed it. Seems like the server has gone down. We might need to recreate it.
It's unfortunately the luck of the caster. Second you say something nice, it's going to go against you. So it looks like everyone's getting ready for the best of sevens now. So we should be going into it full swing, and hopefully we're going to have some no bars held, non-stop action rounds. From the caliber of players, I really don't think that's going to be a problem.
Definitely. And I see there, I've just saw an interesting stat. DF the man didn't score any goals this game, yet he still managed to get MVP.
4 assists.
4 assists. Clearly he did a lot of other work in the rest of the field besides for the shooting.
And his teammate Heisenberg with the most goals on the opposite team, so I think they're still trying to play to each other. They're not on the team. So Superman with 1 assist there, so Heisenberg taking opportunities of what he's got to pass out. So just busy setting up the server, making sure that all the rules are together, and then we'll kick this best of 7 off. And guys, if you are watching the chat, watching the stream, feel free to drop some comments in the chat. It obviously gives us something to talk about, boost the team a little bit. They're not going to see it obviously while they're playing, but it's nice to see that the community is getting around them once they come back afterwards and watch the replay, which will be available once the stream is finished. Getting some shout outs to Sumo in the chat, which is good to see. Haven't been chatting about him much. I must be honest, I don't know him that well as a player. So I did say I do want to keep an eye out on him and see what he has to offer this evening. Byron Hamill. You are asking about local tournaments. There's one that we partake in that's more of a friendly tournament, and that's on the ACGL website. Just give it a quick search. It's an amazing site they offer for PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. And a lot of the community has grown from their efforts that they're offering. And then there is obviously the VS Gaming League, which is a little bit more on a professional level. And like we mentioned earlier, 5 of these 6 are actually qualified for the main tournament in that due to the skills. Oh,
great. And
cool guy with an amazing shot, just taking the assist there from Timmy. Following up on the shot, he was ready to see what happened with that ball, and he made the right play. Very good to see. 10 seconds in, and there's already a goal on the board. This is going to be an exciting game.
Yeah, off to a quick start. And I see Ivy Superman did get a good save there just before the goal came in, and he couldn't get to the second one, unfortunately. Good clear there by him.
Like you mentioned earlier, Timmy playing very strong, very aggressive, going for all those balls, trying to place it in the middle for his teammates to follow through. Not necessarily going for the shot, but just trying to get that very good placement. Nice high aerial.
Cool guy putting it up onto the backboard. Can someone follow up? He followed up on his own ball. The man trying to put it into the center.
All staying very high, and it's a dangerous game they're playing, but I mean, obviously the guys are all very good. They want to see what's happening, but if that ball bounces around too much in the air, it just becomes anyone's game. See Heisenberg on an attack. Oh, meeting his teammate head on there. Oh, DF man powering that through.
With the man with the long shot, and Sumo just almost got to it.
Man, he really did. I mean, defense is one of those things where the slightest little bit of a touch can actually change the ball's direction enough to move you through. And he just didn't get enough contact on that ball.
Simi putting it back up onto the backboard.
Again, he's really trying to set it up in the middle there for his teammates to follow through the shots. And DF man just not getting it on target there.
So there was some great pressure coming in from Biltong here, because, I mean, with the rotation, they kept putting it back onto the backboard, putting it back, and making it really difficult for Doros to clear the ball out of their area. And they continue with the pressure here.
I mean, it is still quite early, but I have noticed that the ball is generally on the orange side a lot more so far in the first 2 minutes of this match. Just not able to get it in the defense, but then everyone knows the dreaded, you're about to score a goal, one great clear, no one home. So hopefully they are looking out for that. I see someone is posted in goals just to watch for those shots.
Nice little air control there from Timmy. But yeah, as you said, the Biltong's definitely the more aggressive team at the moment. I think Duel's just trying to sort of slow down the game and keep them out of the goals for now, until they get scored. And unfortunately, they couldn't keep them out there.
Timmy actually scoring that one, trying to set his team up, put it very beautifully into the opponent's scoring area, and then it just went right in. No one home to defend that. Oh, beautiful shot there from Sumo, the man that I'm keeping an eye on. Out of nowhere, saw space, took the shot, two people in goal, but just nothing they could do.
From the side of the midfield, it's definitely, he puts it in the opposite corner. Definitely not an easy shot to make, but it's very well pulled off there.
And just finding that space perfectly between both players. Kuldan not able to clear it there, got the shot off, but Heisenberg brought it right back into their danger zone.
DF stays cool under pressure to get that around.
He is just too clinical. Look how slowly he's going, just to watch where the opponents are, what they're going to do to make sure he can make the right play. He's a very clinical player.
True.
Again, you're going to see his name popping up a lot here. He was trying to score, then he brought the ball back. Trying to set Timmy up there for a change. Heisenberg now on the attack.
Oh, and nice little chip there from Heisenberg.
Just like that. They down one goal now.
Back in the game, definitely.
And they're swinging the momentum. They were 3 goals down, and they are now just 1 goal down, with the last 2 coming from them. It's really good to see, and that actually boosts them a lot and puts the other team under pressure, because what are they doing wrong now? That's going through their minds. Why are they conceding goals?
and that's definitely something that I always mention with Rocket League, Zach, is that no matter how you can be down by 3 goals, by 4 goals, if there's even a minute or two left, there's anything can happen in this game. You can definitely come back. I've seen it happen so many times.
While you were saying that Shia LaBeouf meme was going through my head, just do it. If you've got that mentality, you can bring this game back from nowhere.
Definitely.
It really is that kind of a game.
I've seen it happen. I've done it many times.
I've had it done to me many times.
Exactly, that too. Not quite as pleasant when you're on the other receiving end of it.
Yeah, DF Man taking it there. He obviously wanted to put the difference up a little bit. He played very aggressive there, following through on his own pass. I don't know if he was able to see where his teammates were, but maybe he thought it was just a better opportunity to go for it himself.
Yeah, he was able to go for it himself, and he did. So he gives his team a 2-goal cushion with 40 seconds to go. It's going to be a bit of a tough one, but it's definitely still doable as a comeback.
And I mean, that shot there, that touch on the ball, he turned himself with air roll, moved the ball to where he wanted to go, and then he landed perfectly to follow through with where the ball was landing. That's what makes DF such a danger, is his ball control and his positioning. He's always ready for you. You have to make an opportunity by making him make a mistake.
For sure, definitely. And as we're going to the last 10 seconds of the game, it looks like this one's going to go the way of the blue team.
That's Dribbles.
Blue team is Biltong, I think.
Biltong.
Yep.
Biltong. Winner Biltong taking the first of 7.
So it's 1-0 now in the series to Biltong, as the players exchange GGs all around. And good game it was indeed.
Absolutely. The goal difference, like we said, it got so close, and then DF was able to pull one back and just extend that lead a bit. But it must be difficult for Drovos just to, off the first game, you've got excitement, you've got a little bit of tension, you want to prove yourself. To take a loss in the first game, you really need to go back into the second game positive and not let it get you down. So hopefully they take that as a learning curve. They've weighed their team up a little bit and going to push a little bit harder in the follow-through.
And for anyone who's just joined us, we are 1 game down in the best of 7 series, Biltong taking that first game. So 1-0 to them going into the second game. I'm quite excited to see how the rest of it will pan out. This game definitely wasn't one-sided. We saw Drovos making a great comeback there before DF reinstated their lead. So let's see how they'll do in the second game.
Yeah, and Bayonet XLLLL, or the 8th, whichever one, I'm sorry if I apologize, actually calling out some rotation issues on the orange team, which it is possible, and it can actually be a factor from them not really playing together that much, where the blue team may be a lot more confident. Biltong, very strong players. I wonder if Heisenberg's maybe not falling back to see what his team will do. Like we said, he's very used to playing with DF, where they work on those passing plays and just creating space. So I don't know if he's holding back a little bit. He did score a goal in the last round, so I don't think so, but it could be causing a rotation issue where people aren't confident to go for the ball or actually pass the ball knowing what their teammate's going to do.
Yeah, and as we pointed out earlier on the opposite end, we've got Fulgar, who is quite good at adapting to different teammates and playing that third man all the time. So that could be helping a lot with their rotation. And someone like DF, the man, I know he tries to play with a very diverse range of players, and he's always looking for new players to play with. So I think he's also adapted a lot to play with different people and different teams.
He's using his team strengths. Very dangerous pass there into the beginning. Bayonet, I do apologize, you correct. It is the 13th, not the 8th. Sorry about that. Please don't leave any harsh comments. I will say the 13th from now on. But thanks for being active in the chat. It's really great to see. Give shout outs to all the guys, and especially thank Horndog for the streaming. He is absolutely great.
Oh, what a save there by Superman to keep that one out.
Superman's been quite quiet, actually. I haven't seen him too much on the attacking side. So is that playing into the rotation where he's trying to be a bit more defensive? Again, not knowing his team and what he can and can't go for?
I've definitely noticed him being more defensive.
As we say that, he shoots an amazing clearance.
He was maybe trying to prove me wrong when earlier on I said he's a very aggressive player.
100%.
But no, it was a great save coming in there, and we're coming into halfway through the game now, and it's still 0-0. So this is a very great and intense game we've got here.
We're starting to see Biltong's confidence build here. They're starting to go for a little bit more risky shots, obviously knowing that their team's going to be there if they don't get it, and obviously creating opportunities if they do. That was a reverse shot, great pass to DF, just unable to finish it there. Very, very close though. He's still playing in reverse. Timmy, absolute madman.
And we see both saves or clears there coming from two players in goal, so it definitely looks like they're putting more emphasis on the defense in this game. And
I think it's because they're all such strong players. If someone goes forward, they know that it's going to be dangerous, so let's rather save some defense to come on the counter attack.
Nice little save and clear there from Kulga.
Heisenberg able to clear that quite nicely.
Misses off the ball, Ariel Kulga puts it off the backboard. Timmy back off the backboard.
Timmy has really been strong here. He's going for shots, and initially he started off giving a lot of through balls for his teammates to score. But I think him and DF have worked out a rotation of, I'll pass you the ball, you pass me the ball, one of us will put it in. If you've got it, let's just make it happen. And right now, 0-0, almost 4 minutes into the game. It hasn't really paid off, but there's a much stronger showing from Drobos.
And Biltong in a little bit of trouble here.
Do you find Drobos is just struggling to keep the ball in Biltong's half? They do bring it in, they take maybe one shot and try and get a rebound, but then it's right back in their field. They all need to come back and defend. It really is a bit of a fight for them.
See,
Timmy's just left us.
must be having some
Oh,
technical
and as that happens, Heisenberg takes a cheap goal. I don't want to say cheap, but he had a very good opportunity. He took it, he made magic for his team. Was it just a bit unfortunate that Timmy left at that exact moment? And that puts them in the lead.
Let's see if they can hold on to that lead. There's only 20 seconds left.
Timmy seems to be back. Hopefully he's solved his troubles. He's driving forward this time. Great little flick there over the opponent.
Superman's just going to try and keep this in this half. And great playing there from Drobos to keep it in Biltong's half and keep it away from their goals. And that gives them the win, which ties up the series. A lot less goals being scored in that one, but you can see the teams were a lot more comfortable and obviously keeping tabs of where their teammates were. Again, like we said, Drobos was actually on the defense for most of that one, but they still managed to pull through the win. Yeah, no, that was definitely very exciting. I mean, for a whole 5 minutes to only have a 1-0 scoreline is very tense. The players were all on the ball very quick, very good in defense. So it was great to see, and a great mentality from Drobos in the second game after going down in the first game. So it should make for very interesting stuff for the rest of the series.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, in a series where you're playing multiple games, losing the first game can make or break you. You either decide to come back strong or you lose the whole series. And it appears that Drovos has decided, listen, we can do this. Let's show them what we've got. Timmy coming out very strong. Great pass to DF, just not able to make contact there.
Last year from Hardenberg, Luke there. Superman going to take it up the wall.
Superman is starting to become a little bit more aggressive. He's playing a lot more forward, coming out of the goal a bit. I think that's where the confidence is starting to come through. Just showing that, okay, someone will be in defense if I don't manage to get this break. Sumo just unable to touch it there.
Then he's putting it into the danger zone there and following up on it.
Oh, it says there was a save there. I didn't actually see Hardenberg make contact, but I mean, if it was, that was amazing. Under pressure.
It was almost more like a 50-50 there. But
absolutely, but when your goal is right behind you, you have to make that count,
definitely.
And he definitely did that.
Oh, Sumo with the shot and pulled down with a great save.
But that was incredible to see. DF Man was going out into the corner, and as the camera panned, you had two of Biltong standing right there to defend the ball. Their rotations are on point right now. Oh, two guys going for the same ball there. You don't want to see that, but it seems to have worked for them. And
I almost thought
close one.
Out of nowhere, making the save. Oh, and another great save from Superman there. This is some exciting stuff. Back off the backboard. No one to follow up.
Biltong getting very comfortable here in their quarter, and the defense, as much as you can make the most amazing saves, if they keep taking shots at your goal, eventually it is going to break. So you need to get those clearances out there, which Heisenberg has just done, actually in a dangerous position. Oh, and an amazing goal from Sumo. Assist there from Heisenberg. Wow. Dave, why did the chicken cross the road?
Why did the chicken cross the road?
To get a better view of that play right there. That was incredible. Off the backboard, just to the left of the post, and then, Sumo finishing it off like a champion.
That's definitely one of the better spins on that joke I've heard in recent times.
Glad. I'm here till Thursday. As much as we've been in Drovos' half most of this match, they seem to have a lot of control of the ball. They're waiting to see what their opponents are going to do and then trying to create an opportunity from that, which can be effective but also very dangerous if your opponents just find that gap.
I see Timmy's left the game again. He's definitely having some technical difficulties. Hopefully he will be back soon.
Yeah, we might take a slight break after this just to make sure that Timmy maybe find a new service so Timmy can contribute, because it is frustrating and can play a big part on your mentality if you're having bad ping, if you are getting disconnected. It just throws off your whole pace and your whole mentality towards the match. So hopefully we can sort that out and see a strong return to form from him.
Yeah, and especially in games that are so close like this and very evenly matched, it can be detrimental when you lose that one player.
Seeing some crazy saves coming here from Biltong, now that they a little bit on the defense.
Another great save from DF. Some great pressure here from Drovos. They've definitely come back really strong.
Oh, how the tables have turned. Keeping the ball there in Biltong's half, not letting them get those clearances for long. As I say that again, almost a great shot there.
Then he's putting it back into the danger zone, but cleared.
See the confidence there from Heisenberg. He knew his teammates were on the ground. He could go up and just get that clearance. If you miss that ball and there's no one behind you, you are giving your opponents a goal. So it's great to see that he has got confidence in his team, and it is showing. Again, not many goals scored in this game, but they are 1-0 up, and hopefully Biltong's able to come back from this. 27 seconds left, anyone's game. But Heisenberg defending that goal like an absolute champion.
It was very solid in defense. really enjoying their playing at the moment. See if they can hold on. There's 10 seconds left.
Oh, open goals. Can they make anything from it? No. Just clear out.
Can Biltong keep the ball off the ground? And it isn't to be, so...
GG's all round. Very good game. Not very high scoring, but I mean, the pressure from both sides. Many shots on goals. I mean, there on Drovos' side, they had 7 shots on goal. 1 goal scored. And on Biltong, 4 shots at goal, which you've got to be able to defend those in the long run, or else you're just going to concede to your opponents non-stop.
Yeah, I'm loving these very close matches, these 1-0. It really puts pressure on the players, and it becomes just that small margin of error. You know, it's when you're playing under pressure like that, you know that one mistake could cost you the game. So I mean,
it shows you the caliber of the players that we're looking at. It's all great to have a 10-1 game. But when you're playing against opponents that are strong and you're a strong team yourself, it goes to show that it seems we're having some difficulty there. We're probably just going to reset quickly. Please bear with us. Insert elevator music now.
Unfortunately, I don't have that on hand.
Not a problem. We'll be better prepared next time.
I can start singing if you want.
Strange turn of events there. So Biltong was actually the lead after the first game. We now see that Drovos has picked up 2 wins in a row. Do you think they need to carry on playing as they are, or do you think they need to change it up a bit to make sure that Biltong doesn't read them?
I think Drovos is definitely doing the right thing at the moment. I think they don't need to change much. They defensively, like I said, they are very impressive. If they can keep the ball out of their half, they definitely gonna be, giving problems to Biltong. Biltong, on the other hand, you actually can't fault either team at the moment. They're playing really well. I think they've just been unlucky to concede the 1 goal in each game so far.
Unfortunately, in Rocket League, one will call it unlucky, the next one will call it skill. So, look, we saw some amazing shots coming out there from Drovos. It could have been luck, just bad positioning at that point, but a goal's a goal at the end of the day. So hopefully they can evaluate the situation and fix their mistakes, and obviously put some more pressure onto Drovos this match.
Yeah,
and they're starting off strong. You can see very aggressive plays coming out there. Superman clearing and Basti, but right back, and that is a goal from centre field. Well done, Cool Guy.
Great shot from Cool Guy coming in there, all the way from the midfield.
Last man back, he had to take that shot or fall back, and it's a risky move, but he managed to make it pay off.
And as you see, the series is definitely nowhere near decided yet. Drovos only 2-1 up at the moment, but as we said, it's a best of 7, so it's still a lot of Rocket League to play, and let's see how these teams are going to handle.
Funny thing in this match is we've had as many goals in the first 30 seconds of this match as we have in the last 2 games. So Biltong definitely want to bring the pressure here, keep the pace, keep the momentum, and possibly take the win on this one. To me, going very high, just missing that touch slightly.
Keeping the pressure off.
And very close shot, just off the sidebar.
Luke messing it off the wall there, but Superman following up with a great shot into the corner, off the post. Ties it up at 1-1.
Those postage stamp goals are very difficult to read. You think the ball might bounce out, but when it gets that curve right back into the goal, it is devastating.
Almost unstoppable.
Getting nice shots out from both sides there for a great shot. So we are now in a tie game. Everyone obviously feeling comfortable and trying to take the win.
Yeah, I know, and as the more they play together,
Timmy just not able to convert that great pass
not
from
able to
DF.
get enough power on that one. But yeah, as they go, I'm sure they're getting a bit more used to each other, a bit more used to each other's play styles. DF off the crossbar.
Oh, but Timmy to finish it.
Nice little follow-up from Timmy there to give them the lead. Great stuff from DF there.
Now, knowing DF, he might have actually tried to pass that to Timmy just to make sure the defense was caught off guard and Timmy could follow it through. This is just me speculating, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I would not put that past him at all.
Great shot there, good teamwork, good reads by both.
Oh, great little aerial dunk from Luke there, but followed by a great save also.
The ball is starting to get a lot higher. Oh, Timmy
getting the bounce off the roof there and using it to his advantage.
I think him disconnecting made him come back stronger. He said, oh, you want to score while I'm not in the match? I'll show you guys. He is absolutely on a cracker at the moment.
He actually did point out on the Discord channel that the team did scored before he left. I don't know if you were just being diplomatic.
Oh, very good clear there, opening up some space.
Uga taking it off the wall into a dangerous position. Can his teammates follow up? Superman gets the clear. And back into an offensive position now. Oh, great little save from Timmy. It's always dangerous when the ball's dropping in front of your goals like that.
Absolutely. Look, the defense from Biltong's side has absolutely gone up a notch. They are going for balls, making sure that the rotations are quick and clean. If someone is out, there's another person falling in behind them immediately, and I think that's definitely taking a toll on Drobos. They don't seem to have lost momentum.
Great stuff from Superman there. Off the wall, putting it into such a dangerous area.
I think that was Sumo actually going for that and not able to make the touch, but I think it threw off the defense a little bit in terms of where the ball's going to go. So that was quite great to see. Eisenberg passing it through. Superman getting a cheeky steal, a boost in the corner there. Very important rule, pro tip, always steal your opponent's boost. It gives you 10% more accuracy and you'll probably win the match.
And I see Timmy having technical difficulties again leaving the match, and he's just rejoined. Hopefully this doesn't break their momentum.
Eisenberg, risky play off the wall. If he made contact with there was nowhere really for the ball to go. Might have just been falling back, but it looked like he was actually going for that one.
Oh, great save there from Luke.
Can he do it? Oh, dangerous pass in. Timmy able to clear it though. DF man putting it back in danger. That does unfortunately happen with those corner balls. Very difficult to judge the angle with the wall.
Very great follow up there from Cooldown to clear that, and it's back into their danger area. I'm enjoying this pressure from Drobos here going into the last 30 seconds. They really want this goal to tie up the game and push it into overtime.
Absolutely, and they spent a good amount of time sitting there in Biltong's quarter.
Oh, and Cool Guy off the post with the open net.
Even wowing himself, he wasn't sure how he missed that. Very close one, but it does happen.
Nice little thing, Sumo. DF, the man's going to want to keep this in the air.
You see that Timmy put it forward for DF, saw he had the ball and immediately pulled away to fall in position. I think, yeah, that's what gave him the edge in this one. Biltong taking the lead, tying it up at 2-2 in this best of 7.
Can't get closer to the net. It's very interesting stuff here as the players have to say their GGs all round. And indeed, it has been such good games.
And again, DF taking top of the scoreboard, no goals, but 2 assists and a save coming through. He is just making sure that his team is in the right place and the defense is on point. Really, really making sure that the ball's in the danger zone for the opponents.
Yeah, it's like you said, he's very clinical. He's one of the most clinical players we've known, and he's just, even if he's not the one scoring the goals, he's just so effective. He's making the passes, the shots, and saves. He really brings a lot to the team.
Once me, like, it almost makes me cry every time I see it. He lifts off the ground ever so slightly, does a complete half flip, and then goes perfectly straight for the ball. No flinching, no changing of directions, no corrections, and he hits that ball with so much power in the exact direction he wants to go. If you haven't seen it, go check out some of his montages. He is amazing with that shot. I've been the receiver of that shot once or twice, and it is devastating. He is an absolutely clinical player.
We've definitely been on the receiving end of those shots, and we've even seen it in this series tonight. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see it again from him.
Superman going hard for that and finishing it strong. Jeez. The fence nowhere to be seen. There was one guy back, but I don't think Timmy was ready to go for that ball coming in from that angle.
Great follow-up from Superman there. And such a difficult ball to save coming off the crossbar like that.
And you saw he had to angle his boost to actually slow his momentum just to get the right amount of touch on that. Very, very good play there from Superman. And Sumo coming back again. Cleared out nicely by Timmy.
Luke with a shot, cool guy with a save. Luke trying to put it back to his teammates. DF gets there first.
I think that's where playing together. He knew Luke was going for that shot and he was ready for it.
He read him.
Oh, very dangerous ball.
Great shot off the wall there.
Timmy just seems to have amazing accuracy. I don't even think he touched the wall there. He boosted
That was insane. That was actually insane. I think his back wheel just touched the wall there.
Wow. Very, very good prediction of where the ball was going to go and making sure it went where he wanted it to go afterwards. Very good shot there by Timmy. Bringing us back to a tied game.
Tuma putting it up onto the backboard. Superman going up. Oh, an open net for Sumo.
Easiest goal ever. He took his time with that. He didn't want to rush anything. He knew he had all the time in the world to put that in the back. Very nice shot. Very calculated.
Even does a cheeky little shot with his wheels.
Seeing a bit of an upset here. I mean, it's... as I say, that Superman out of nowhere manages to get that through the goals. He came from his own water there, ran across the field as well, and put it perfectly into the top right corner. Very, very good showmanship there.
And this is why I said I definitely would like to keep an eye on him tonight.
I wanted to watch Sumo, and he hasn't disappointed.
Without a doubt.
He hasn't been too flashy, but I mean...
Another great shot from Superman there.
Okay, now your guy's just showing off. That's 3 goals in very quick succession, taking it from a tie game to a 3-goal lead in a matter of seconds. We're only a minute and a half into this game, and we're already seeing 5 goals being scored.
Oh, DF just missing it onto the post there.
Little bit of a demo, and it works for Hasenberg.
And this is the dribbling I'm talking about from Hasenberg. Look at
Again,
this.
I said right in the beginning, once they take the lead, Hasenberg's going to pull out things that you don't expect from him. He gets confidence from knowing that he's up top. Very, very good show there.
Nice little fake there. I think he made the opponent think he was going to take that up. He was going to jump that into the air. And yet he took it under the opponent there.
Oh, slight miss there. I think Timmy's got an open goal. Can he make it in? Very, very nice.
At the net, takes it to 5-2. But wow, what a different game to the second and third game where we only had a 1-0 scoreline. We have now got, in less than 2 minutes, 7 goals scored.
And it can still go anywhere. There's more than enough time on the board. The guys are playing a lot more confidently, going for high shots like that off the wall, following it through. They really are coming to form in terms of what they can and can't do. And it can go either way right now.
For sure, and at this point, Biltong has actually got nothing to lose. They are 3 goals down. So I think they are the ones that needs to take the game to dribbles now and just put the pressure and see if they can make a comeback. Timmy with a shot. Oh, and Luke doesn't get to save that one. Back within a 2-goal deficit. Very doable in 2 minutes.
And again, changing the momentum. They've scored the last 2 goals, and that obviously affects the mentality. And they've also, again, scored them very quickly. It's been less than a minute since I said they've scored 3 goals in less than a minute. So really, really changing the momentum there, and that can play a big part.
Yeah, and as much as I was saying, I was enjoying those tight matches with the one goal lead. This is really a refreshing little change of pace to see. I mean, like I said, from 1-0 in a whole match to 8 goals in 3 minutes. But Biltong still has 2 minutes here to bring down the 2-goal deficit. And that is way more than enough time for anyone who knows Rocket League. It's more than enough time to bring those 2 goals back and even go ahead by 2 goals.
And it does motivate you when you say, I've got 2 minutes left, that's very doable.
And there it is.
There we go.
There it is. And they're only back down to one goal deficit.
And again, the complete opposite happens. When you've got I think it was a 3-goal lead at its peak, you start leaning back a little bit. You may get a little bit sloppy, and when those goals start pouring in against you, it can make you worried, and you can actually throw the game from that.
I definitely think Dribbles is feeling the pressure. Yeah, coming from a 3-goal lead and now only down to 1 goal. It's going to be a tough one to hold the confident Biltong off now.
Can we get some votes going in the chat here? Who do you think's going to take it, Biltong or Dribos in this matchup here? 1 minute 21 left, 1 goal difference. Who's your favourite?
I'm gonna go for blue team to tie it up. Maybe another 1 or 2 goals from each team, and going into overtime.
Superman with a very threatening challenge there. Hoping for overtime.
Luca backing Dribos. Oh, so close there. And here's the hand with the follow-up. Ties it up to 5-all. We have a match on our hands.
Absolutely. Drobos a bit slow on the rotation there. Heisenberg made an amazing save, but no one to actually get the clear on the ball. The difficulty in that is that's all he could do with that shot. It was so close to being in the net. He had to just make contact with the ball there.
It was basically just to keep it out and hope that a teammate can follow up to clear it, but 100%. Unfortunately there was no teammate nearby. 30 seconds left. We're all tied up.
Biltong just seems to be putting long clearances into space where they have time to come up and challenge the ball once it lands, which is very good to see from them. I mean, they came back very, very strong, and they keep putting that pressure even though they are at a tie level at this point in time.
So we go
overtime. You called it. You called it.
Always love to see a great comeback like that, especially from a 3-goal or a 4-goal lead. Not easy. It's not nice to be on the receiving end of it, to lose that lead, but always great to make that comeback. And let's see now what Biltong, if Biltong can go on to win the match, or will it be Drobos?
Creating some space there. one person in goal, but they just got a little bit of a mix up with two people going for the ball.
Duma putting it back into the danger area. Timmy up again to clear it off the top of his goals. DF the man with the clear this time. Drum was really putting the pressure, yeah.
Biltong seems to be relying heavily on their defense. They don't want the ball to get through. Most of the time you've got two guys back. I even saw three guys back there at one stage. They are making sure that Drovos doesn't get a goal in, and that gives them the opportunity to score.
DF and then picking up that cross and putting it.
Timmy with an amazing pass there. I mean, those angled shots off that corner of the wall. Very dangerous. It fell into the right space, but DF read it like a book and just put it in the back of the net.
And that completes their comeback to and the win. So that was actually really amazing to see that from a 3-goal deficit to come back, force the game into overtime and take.
If I'm not mistaken, that puts them on game point now.
That does take them up 3-2 in the series, and puts them on game point. If they win the next game, that will be the series.
So that is very, very good.
Timmy with some great stats in that match, scoring the hat-trick off of 5 shots, and giving the 1 assist there. Very, very effective player.
Timmy, I must say, I didn't know him too much before the series, and he's coming out so strong. It's definitely someone I'm going to keep an eye on. He does play in the major league, the VS Gaming League, and he has, if I'm not mistaken, qualified.
Yes, he plays for Red Neptune, who made top 4 in the last leg, and he will be. I see they're just going to recreate this one, I think. Just exit. Yeah, but he plays for Red Neptune, and they managed to make top 4 in the last leg of the VS Gaming League, which does qualify them into the DGC. And very, very exciting stuff. That's the DGC, and currently they are playing, if I'm not mistaken, they're playing some playoffs just for the last 1 or 2 teams that are going to qualify. But yeah, I'm definitely keen to see the DGC and how that's going to turn out with all the teams that have qualified.
Yeah, I'm quite excited to see. That's the best of the best playing with their team. So you really see a different kind of game. In these small series, we playing with teams that are a bit of a mashup, great players, but it does make a huge difference when you know the guy that you're playing with, and you can really see the strength coming through when the passing plays, I have to say it again, between DF Man and Heisenberg, it's incredible. It sucks when you're playing against them, but when you see how they do it and how they know where their teammate's going to put the ball for them to follow it through, it's beautiful to watch. It really, really is.
Oh yeah, their understanding of each other is just phenomenal, and that comes from a lot of practicing together. I mean, they do play together a lot, and as you said, we are used to seeing them together. We see them in the 3v3s. They take on the 2v2s with them two in a team, and yeah, they've definitely gotten to know each other well and get a good understanding of each other's play styles. And you definitely see that coming through. So going into the 6th game of the series, Biltong leads the series 3-2. They will be hoping that this is the last game. If they win it, they will take the series. But obviously Drovos will have other plans, and they'll be hoping to tie up the series 3-3. But not off to a good start as they can see a goal.
A bit unlucky there, 2 guys on defense in the goals, but just not able to make contact with that angle. DF Man just reading the open spot there and putting it in the back of the net. Very strong. That now puts Drew Boss under a lot of pressure. They know this is the one that can make them lose the series, and they now a goal behind. They need to pick up their game and make sure that they get in the lead. That can also have a negative effect mentally. It can break you down, but these are very strong players. They know how to keep their cool under pressure, and hopefully they can bring it back from this.
Definitely, and there's still a lot of time to go. 4 minutes, anything can happen, so they'll take comfort in knowing that they've got the next 4 minutes to do something.
Superman just missing that one, but Sumo coming in hard to take the shot at goal. Nearly got it, but very good save from Biltong.
Yeah, man with the clear and doubles up as a shot.
Hasenberg's waiting for him. Sumo with a great clear right to the back there.
And he follows up to put it into the back of the net.
Sumo, thank you for bringing one up on Superman there. You put that ball from your defense right into the back of the net. That was a very good shot. Very, very good.
And definitely good when it's acknowledged by all three players on the opposing team.
Absolutely.
That ties it back up to 1-1.
Dromos is coming very aggressive here, quick to the ball, making sure that the opponents don't have any space to work with. Oh, a little bit of a danger. 4 players going for the ball, but luckily working out for Dromos there and getting the clear. And keeping that pressure non-stop, not letting the ball get out of Biltong's half.
Superman putting it into the danger zone there. The man couldn't follow up on Cool Guy's backboard. Oh, Hasenberg!
Incredible play! Incredible play!
Can you believe it? We've mentioned his dribbling, and he has proved us right twice tonight.
The change of pace there, though, everyone was being very aggressive, moving very fast to the ball, and he just slowed everything down. Faking out a player there on Biltong and then picking up the pace again to run it right back to the net. That is incredible.
Sorry, I'll say he proved us right, but he a bit more technically proved us wrong, because we said we don't know if he could do as much dribbling in a 3v3. But he's actually used those skills to now get his team 2 goals.
That's his second goal, yes.
Definitely.
Second goal of dribbling.
Really great stuff from Hasenberg there, and puts his team back into the lead. Some exciting stuff here.
And it's that change of pace just threw Biltong off completely. They had no idea that was coming.
Yeah, because like you say, there's been a lot of aerial play. The ball's been in the air a lot. And then Hasenberg just decides to bring it down and play with it a bit on the ground, and just threw everyone off of that one.
Everyone being a little bit more cautious now. You can see Biltong is being a lot more aggressive though in terms of taking shots. And
Superman gets the shot.
Superman takes one right from the corner. No assist needed, he'll finish it himself. Thank you very much. And that relieves quite a bit of the pressure. I think we're going to go to Game 7 in this one.
I'm hoping to see that. I'm really hoping to see that. It will be very interesting. I see Timmy left the game again there. That's the second time Superman's taken that opportunity to score a goal. So... but with Timmy being the gentleman he is, he'll say it was scored before he left the match. We've got really approved Timmy. And Timmy really just playing so well tonight. Look at that aerial off the wall. Putting it back. Oh, great stuff. Sometimes that's what you need to do. Don't play the ball, play the player, and it worked out so well for Biltong there. Cool Guy taking a shot, Timmy clearing the defense right out there for the ball to go into the goals. Clever move, risky sometimes, but it paid off for them in that case. Now only a 1-goal lead for Girls. They'll be feeling the pressure here with 1 minute to go. They'll be hoping that they can hold on to this lead, or maybe even make it a bit bigger. Once that dong sounds for the first minute, you really need to evaluate your game plan and decide whether I'm doing the right thing here. So let's see how they take this. There it goes, and
So far, not looking too good. The ball's staying in their quarter quite a bit there for Drovos, and very aggressive plays coming out from Bolton. Sumo now trying some dribbling. Amazing flick. Can he finish it?
Great solo play, but no follow-up.
Very good clear there from Timmy. Unable to follow through, and Hardenberg back on the attack. Whoa, Superman man by himself, at least giving them some time to fall back and get into position. It's the best play he could have made at that time.
15 seconds to go. Superman looking for the center. Misses it off the wall. Oh, and then it comes off the back of the post. Can Biltong get a last second goal here? And it's not to be. Our wish came true.
Game 7.
Series gets tied up at 3-all, and we have to go into the last game to decide.
It just goes to show. I mean, we've had games with 1 goal being scored, and we've had very high-scoring games, but it is close every single time. These guys do not want to lose, even though it's a friendly. They're really throwing their all into it, which is absolutely fantastic to see.
Definitely, what a spectacular series it's been so far. To go to a game 7, it's not something that happens very often. I think we're fortunate to see it tonight. And like you said, just the diversity of play tonight. I mean, we've had 2 games that were 1-0, and then we've had high-scoring games that had 8 or 9 goals in them. So, yeah, it's just great to see all the different play styles. I see the server just went down. They're going to recreate.
Please hold. Look, it's really been an intense match. I must say it is a little bit unfortunate for Biltong that Timmy does keep getting cut. He doesn't seem to be taking strain from it, but it can definitely play a mental game for your opponents as well as for your defense. A player popping in and out, you panic, or you see a golden opportunity and you take it. And Superman's actually scored twice in those opportunities, not for any particular reason, not saying because Timmy had left, but and the opportunity presented itself.
Not necessarily because Timmy wasn't there. And I'm sure Timmy will back that up. But yeah, definitely going into the last game now. This is definitely the last game. The winner takes all here. Winner of this game takes the series 4-3. What are your feelings, Zach?
Look, I must say, going into this, I thought Drovos had a clear advantage, but it seems that, I speak under correction. I think Biltong had the advantage, but Drovos just doesn't want to give it to them. They lost the first game, they came back strong with 2 wins, and it's just been a back and forth. But I think the way that Drovos has adapted to their opponent's playstyle is really showing their strengths. They're a bit of a mix-up of a play. Both guys pretty much freezing in front of the goals there. Very risky if someone followed through, but they seem to have recovered quite well and are back on the attack.
Yeah, and Superman putting it back into the danger area, following up, but Timmy gets it clearly. Doing a little bit of aerial work, ping pong with the wall.
Timmy losing a bit of control, and now the ball is in a very dangerous position.
Right across.
No one to follow through on an open net. That is very unfortunate. Heisenberg passing it back. Great read from Sumo, but then it's back in their half.
CDF, the man got the demo on Heisenberg's loop there. I wonder if that was personal.
I must tell you, I'd like to see these teams taking a little bit more control of the ball. They seem to just be bashing it right now. I'm trying to clear it from the danger zone, and you can actually create spark.
Yeah, the man got the open net.
Can't even finish my sentence there. The man's like, oh, is it? I'll just score this one quickly. Great pass from Timmy, and it is smashed into the goals.
Yeah, the man saying thank you very much for that one.
But yeah, like I was saying, they do need to take just a little bit more control and stop giving the possession away, because it's becoming a back and forth. And if that happens, it can go either way, concede a goal or score a goal, and you don't want to see that.
True, and I don't know if it's the nerves of the players coming through here, but it definitely has seemed a bit less controlled in this game. The ball's been quite a lot all over the place.
Game. They've got everything to play there. Sumo coming back.
Superman putting it into the center there. Nice little pass from him. And Sumo tying up the game.
Great read. It was going to be knocked out there by the defender, but he didn't let that ball leave his roof, and he just put it right back. Very, very good read.
Oh man, almost getting another one right after it. But just coming off the post there. LP Cool Guy looking to put this into a dangerous area.
This could be very dangerous for Biltong. Not many people are back. Oh, but Timmy, his setups are just incredible, and that was almost an amazing shot on goals, following it through himself.
Just wasn't able to leave it under the crossbar. You have the man coming back down. Great little touch from him. Timmy following up. Eisenberg getting the clear.
Biltong seeming to take the momentum here. They just going touch after touch. Not really playing the ball themselves, but setting up for their teammates to come through with a potent shot. And let's see if it works for them. Heisenberg placing that very, very well in front of the net with no one to follow it through.
Yes, the man. Demoing Luke again.
I sense something personal. Yes.
Oh, just off the crossbar there. Timmy following up, and just couldn't keep it out.
Unfortunate own goal, but it was very, very dangerous there from Timmy's shot. And look at that, the control to take that.
Great shot from Timmy there. Desperate defending from Drovos. 3 guys in goal, still wasn't able to keep it out. Biltong going 2-1 up with just over a minute left. Can Drovos put themselves back into this game? You don't get any closer than this, Zach. 3-3 in games, 2-1 in this game. Minute left to play. What a great series we've been watching tonight.
Oh, this has been thoroughly entertaining. I mean, we've seen top performance from both teams here. I know we do give them a hard time, but that's our job. So we need to point out their mistakes as much as possible, as well as their performance. And really, hasn't been anything negative to say. They are playing so strong on both sides. A few unlucky
so unlucky, and almost was so unlucky. They're coming off the post. Superman trying to put it back in.
Biltong was re-evaluating their positioning there. They were like, oh my god, what's going on? Very, very strong shot on goals there, but unfortunately just wide. And
DF the man getting the goal with 15 seconds left to give his team a 2-goal lead. Kendra will still bring this back with 15 seconds left. It's going to be a tough one.
It is possible, but very unlikely.
At this level of play with the defense, it's very unlikely, agreed. But definitely possible.
Heisenberg determined.
You needed to take that off the wall there, but seems like it's not going to go their way tonight.
And keeping the ball up, Superman doesn't want it to end.
Some great
just touching there. Man, I'm really happy with that.
I'm speechless. That was such an amazing series.
Right down to the last match, it was so close the whole time. Biltong managed to steal a 2-goal lead there, but both teams played very well right up until the final. I mean, it was anyone's game. No one could call a solid winner throughout that whole series.
For sure, until literally until the last 15 seconds of the last game is when we could sort of call the winner. So definitely
a less risky call there. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, great show from all the players. Again, we want to say thank you to the players for participating and giving you guys some entertainment. Our amazing streamer, Horndog, he is listening, he just can't talk. Thumbs up. You're doing an amazing job, and thank you. Even though you are miles and miles away, you are still giving a big shout out to the South African guys and supporting us by making this possible. So very, very big thank you.
Yeah, really helping us to keep the community going and keep the community together. And also, it has to be said, a very big thank you to DF the Man and Heisenberg Luke for actually taking the initiative and you know get going with these six man's events. It's really been such a great thing so far, and it's been quite successful. And like you said, we've gotten some great support from the local community, the people tuning in to watch, and the comments and everything. It's been really great. And I really hope we can carry on with this. And as far as I know, it definitely is going to carry on. I do have word that they are planning another 2 for next week. So yeah, definitely if you've enjoyed this, stay tuned and keep watching the social media on Discord. If you're in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, if you need any information, we are definitely probably more than likely doing another 2 next week. So tune into the stream. Post any questions that you have on the chat of how to get involved. If there is anything you can do from your side in terms of assisting and supporting the community, please let us know your ideas. The more people we have involved, the stronger we can become together. So everyone, thank you very much, and I hope you have a good Rocket League weekend.
Cool, thank you, and thanks for. It's been a good experience. First time for us also, so it was actually quite interesting, and I'm definitely looking forward to the next few six-mans that are going to be organized.
Thank you very much for having me, and have a good one, guys.
Thank you, and that'll be me signing out also, and hopefully we haven't left out anyone.
If we have, thank you.
Thank you, yeah, really, and thanks for the support again. And I mean, this has obviously been a live stream, but it will become a video, a VOD on YouTube. So if you got any family or any other players that are interested in playing Rocket League or joining the community, encourage them and show them the video and let them get involved. And it's really one thing I really love about the South African community is that we're very united. We come together, we communicate often, and there's a lot of scrims happening and everyone practicing together, so it's really a great little vibe going. So yeah, feel free to